everybody, welcome. I just wanted to stream my qualifier and tournament games for this latest underscore tournament that I played in. First off, I started out against actually a very tough opponent. I think this is Ardot. Here he is actually playing one of the stronger decks that you ever seen constructed, actually, which is Pierpont's Kanna Lycan deck. So the deck I'm running is actually the one that I've covered in the prior YouTube videos, which is my tricolor red, green, black deck, which is basically a path deck focused around improvements. We'll see how it copes with Kanna. You know, Kanna is extremely difficult to deal with by any means. But this deck has a bunch of counter counters.
Will die.
Shadow Fiend, to some extent, Omni Knight, and Tide are all counters. So we'll see how it plays out. Based on the deployment here, I got basically the most unfavorable deployment for me, which is Sorla Khan in the Kanna lane. The issue here is that I really want the Kanna to be in a lane with a green hero, but both my green heroes are somewhere else. The reason for wanting the green hero is two reasons. Number one reason is that you can play Underlord signature, like his attribute aura, and what this does is every time a creep gets devoured within range, it gives +1 attack, and every time they die. So if you put this in the Kanna lane, then, you know, if I had a hero here, you'd basically be sitting looking at +6 damage or something over the round if I kill them all. So, you know, I'd instantly become like a 9 attack hero. And you also have Repel to kill larger creeps, because repelling a dog kills it. So here you see my opponent has gone ahead and play, like I play Enter Secrets, which is great opener for this deck. But here, I upgrade and get an Infernal Amulet because I really don't want my SF to die. So I have to put my SF here anyway.
You fight well.
Ordinarily, you want to set your SF in the lane with Omni to keep it alive and sort of do more damage, but against Kanna, you just need to build the souls, have some way to take this out.
Die.
So the reason you want SF here is because I've gotten 2 souls just from devouring, and I'll get 2 more, you know, once I kill these 2 creatures. One unfortunate thing about this game is that, you know, Pierpont Imperia is in effect. So I knew from the fact that he used his his round 1 devour on the creep 1 that he definitely had like another devourer or another homunculus in order to get this combo off. So fortunately my deck is actually also pretty good against Imperia, because as you can see, Imperia only managed to get +7 attack. Because I have a bunch of low valued cards. I just played one of the ones that was revealed there. So I went ahead and repelled Imperia anyway, because I would rather just not have to sit around dealing all game. Even though like a 9 attack Imperia is pretty low for Imperia's you know, possible Imperia values here. Like I still, even a bad roll for Imperia, you know, nobody wants to sit around dealing with a 9/7 for free all game.
My victory is at hand.
So here, you know, this could have gotten slightly better, like I could have gotten the left one, but I was just overall happy that I get to push damage forward with using the FF active. And next round, of course, it'll kill this, and do a little more damage here. So, you know, overall, I've been a little fortunate as far as this played out. Given that my opponent has had a really good set of luck, just, you know, drawing their Imperia combo, also getting Kanna in the right lane. But nevertheless, because this deck is very resilient against those things, you know, I'm still faring just fine. At this point, my SF is very large. My sent Tide to mid because the one thing about this deck is that you just have to worry about all three
I
lanes,
leave you
unfortunately,
broken.
because even just
Follow me
letting,
to victory.
you know, Venno have free reign is just a bad idea all around. So here we are. I'm stuck with my two stupid black heroes alone, which is not the point of, what this is. Like, I'd be very happy if one black hero was with Tide Hunter, which is typical. I mean, this is a raid deck, so you really want to have Tide in the same lane as a black hero. And here I'm actually quite happy that they bounced this SF just because it gives me more options in case I want to go next round and bounce here. Like, the reason they do it is pretty obvious. Like, they're gonna get 12 damage in this tower and come close to killing it.
Red mist will not be denied.
My plan prior was to put Atrophy Aura onto Tide and then just have him kind of soak up this damage by healing him and killing stuff.
Your death comes
Which,
soon.
I mean, I go ahead with anyway.
You're weak.
And the only difference is that now I think I repel to kill one of these dogs. Yeah. Because I just can't, I'd much rather not have to lose this tower. The old plan was just going to be heal Tide Hunter right away, so that he'd be guaranteed to live, and also to kill both of these things before they can proc next turn. But, because he was able to play that creep, I had to go and counter it, otherwise I was just going to lose that lane. Yeah, in this circumstance, I get the Klajimir Hourglass, which is super useful to bounce, because I either want to bounce Tide Hunter or I want to bounce Shadow Fiend. Here I'm kind of ambivalent about where to put him and just opt to go ahead with the Kanna counter plan. You can see this is going to bring me up to 8 souls, which is enough to kill the whole lane.
For a warrior around here?
Will basically almost guarantee me this lane by itself. So I just instantly
Never
pop
had
this.
a chance. I am your Khan.
And I'm kind of happy because my my Tide did not take the unfortunate RNG. Like, it could have died from both these together. So this lane is done, unless he moves in here. He opts the Echo Slam, which, is something I had to just give up. So I decided to go ahead and play more cards here, because even though I'm taking this lane, this deck is extremely good about, forcing 40 again in the same lane. You can see I'm already doing 26 damage per turn, so 2 turns or less. He doesn't even have a hero coming down next turn.
Follow me to victory.
I go ahead and just put this here anyway to give me some more defensive option in case I want to choose somewhere. And the thing is that even though he got that Echo Slam off mid, he did not have enough mana to actually run his combo here, so he didn't really do damage here. And even worse, because Kanna stole his creeps, he gets a free blocker against Imperia, which, is extremely inconvenient for him. So you have to decide what I want to do with SF, and I decide to be defensive. Because I know that basically I can still come forward and kill here, and I just am worried about, losing both the other lanes. Not worried about this lane. So I just want to stop one of the lanes, and I know that Yari would have to spend mana to do damage here effectively next turn, and so, I think I'm relatively safe being here. I can also just run Assault Ladders here, and trample over the top of Venomancer. And it's going to be basically very difficult for him to kill me. In this circumstance, he does have Wave of Madness, which means that, he can get the kill here if he chooses, but that means he has to forego his damage on left, I think. Yeah, so he does opt to get that, and, you see it kills both of his units here, so he's doing minimal damage here. It's basically just a push. Go ahead and play my Atrophy here because I know that he probably wants to play something. Yeah, so he opts to keep his Venno alive and doing pressure here. You can see just how valuable or how, painful it was for him to actually just sit on his his Kanna last turn. He may go ahead and lightning strike here to get this 10 damage. You can see just how difficult it is, even with a lot of things sort of going right. You know, to beat these kind of like index, or sorry, these kind of decks. Really a little ambivalent. Like what I'd like to do is just win the game with with Raid at this point. I mean, I have 2 Paths of the Bold and Assault Ladders, which means I can push enough damage over here. And I have tied up with Ravage, which basically means that unless he can get over to this lane, he has actually already lost the game. Because as close as he's done with all this, you know, I have initiative. He was forced to give it up in order to get the 10 damage on left lane. And what's going to happen is he's going to put, you know, a hero here blocking. Just going to go ahead and Ravage him. Basically, you know, one of the things that people seem to ask a lot about my deck or are confused about is like why I run Path of the Bold when I have a hero that comes late like Tidehunter. The reason is that Path of the Bold is a bit of a deceptive card. I mean, it seems like it's like an early use card where, you know, you just want to build it up over time like other paths. But, you know, in this case, if I just drop 2 paths and like an Assault Ladders, for instance, late, like, you know, I've gotten like plus, you know, 5 damage essentially. Because I'll have one with 3 and one with 2.
Meron has much
my
to
opponent just goes
offer
ahead
you.
and gives up before I drop my ladders, which, you know, fair enough. Yeah, so that was game 1 of my qualifier. Quite a nail biter, and just shows how strong the Kanna decks are. In spite of all my, you know, in spite of all the counters in the deck, it was still a tough one. So we'll see what's up with a different deck in game 2.